Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm Henry, your host.
And I'm Sarah, your co-host. We're so happy you're here with us today.
Today's episode is really special. We're going to talk about something that many people find challenging but super useful in real life. How to talk to anyone.
Yes, whether you're at school, work, or just out and about, being able to start and keep a conversation going is a skill that can open many doors. And don't worry, if you're learning English, this episode is just for you.
Exactly. We know it can be scary to speak with new people, especially in a language you're still learning. But today, we'll share simple tips and examples to help you feel more confident.
Plus, we'll even do a fun role play so you can hear how these tips work in a real conversation. By the end, you'll have practical ideas you can try right away.
So, get comfortable, maybe grab a notebook if you want to write down some helpful phrases, and let's get started.
All right, Henry, I'm excited. Are you ready to help our listeners talk to anyone?
Absolutely, Sarah. Let's dive in. So, Sarah, before we jump into the tips, let's talk about why it's really important to be able to talk to anyone. Why do you think this skill matters so much?
Great question, Henry. Talking to people, even strangers, helps us in many ways. First, it's how we make friends. When you start conversations, you meet new people and build relationships.
Yes, and for English learners, it's also one of the best ways to practice the language. You can learn new words, hear how native speakers talk, and get better at understanding real conversations.
Exactly. Plus, good communication skills can help you at work. Imagine you want a new job or a promotion. Being able to talk confidently with coworkers and bosses is super important.
That's right. I remember when I first moved to a new city, I was nervous to talk to strangers. But once I started small conversations, like asking for directions or chatting with a neighbor, I felt more confident and connected.
That's a perfect example. Even small talks like at the grocery store or in a cafe can help you practice and feel less shy.
And talking to anyone doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It's okay to make mistakes. What matters most is trying and showing interest in others.
Yes, and the more you try, the easier it gets. Your confidence grows and you build new friendships and opportunities.
So, listeners, don't be afraid to start conversations. Remember, everyone loves to be listened to and to share their story.
That's right. Talking to anyone can change your life in small and big ways. And in today's episode, we'll show you how to start those conversations easily.
Awesome! Ready to hear some helpful tips?
Let's go. All right, Henry. Our first tip is something simple but powerful. Start with a smile and a simple greeting. What do you think about that?
I totally agree, Sarah. A smile is like a universal language. It shows you're friendly and open. Even if you don't know what to say, smiling makes the other person feel comfortable.
Exactly. And simple greetings like hello, hi, or good morning are a great way to start. You don't need to say anything complicated.
For example, if you see someone new at your class or work, just say, "Hi, how are you?" Or, "Hello, I'm Henry." It's easy and natural.
And don't forget body language. Make eye contact, stand or sit in an open way, and smile. That helps a lot.
Right. So smile, say hi, and open the door for conversation. That's tip number 1. Tip 2. Ask open-ended questions. Next tip. Ask open-ended questions. Sarah, can you explain what that means?
Sure. Open-ended questions are questions that need more than a yes or no answer. They help the conversation grow.
Like instead of asking, "Do you like music?" which only needs yes or no, you can ask, "What kind of music do you like?"
Exactly. That way the other person can tell you more and you can keep talking.
Here's an example dialogue. What do you like to do in your free time?
I like reading books and going for walks. What about you?
I enjoy cooking and watching movies.
See? The conversation keeps moving. Open-ended questions are very helpful. Tip 3. Listen actively and show interest. Tip number 3 is listening actively. This means paying full attention to the person when they talk.
Right. Don't just wait for your turn to speak. Listen carefully and show you're interested by nodding or saying things like, "Really?" or "That's interesting."
And you can repeat or paraphrase what they say to show understanding. For example,
So you like traveling a lot? That sounds exciting. Yes. That makes the other person feel valued and makes the conversation deeper. Tip 4. Find common interests. Tip 4 is about finding common interests. This is a great way to connect with someone.
for example, if you discover you both like sports, movies, or a certain place, talk about that.
You can say things like, "Oh, you like football too? Who's your favorite team?" Or, "I love that movie as well. What did you think about the ending?"
When you find something in common, it feels easier to talk and makes the conversation fun. Tip 5. Practice makes perfect. Sarah. And the last tip is very important. Practice makes perfect.
Absolutely. The more you practice talking to people, the easier it gets.
Don't worry about making mistakes. Every conversation is a chance to learn.
Try practicing with friends, family, or even by yourself in front of a mirror.
Or you can practice with us, right here, every week.
That's right. Keep practicing, and soon you'll feel more confident talking to anyone. All right, Sarah. Now it's time for our role play. Let's show our listeners how to start a conversation using the tips we just talked about.
Great idea, Henry. I'll pretend to be someone new at a community event, and you can start the conversation.
Okay, here we go. Hi, my name is Henry. How are you today?
Hello, Henry. I'm good, thank you. My name is Sarah. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Sarah. So, what do you like to do in your free time?
Here. Henry asked an open-ended question. What do you like to do in your free time? This question invites me to talk more. I enjoy reading books and going for walks in the park. How about you?
That sounds relaxing. I like cooking and watching movies. Do you have a favorite book? Notice I'm listening actively and asking a follow-up question. Do you have a favorite book? This shows I'm interested.
Yes, I really like mystery novels. They keep me curious. Have you read any good books recently?
I haven't read many mystery novels, but I'm interested now. Maybe you can recommend one.
I will, and maybe we can go for a walk in the park sometime too.
That sounds like a plan. It's great to find something in common, like our interest in books and walking.
Yes, and it's easy to keep talking when you find shared interests.
Thanks, Sarah. This role play shows how you can start simple and use questions and listening to build a nice conversation.
Exactly. Listeners, try practicing this kind of dialogue with a friend or by yourself.
And remember, don't worry about mistakes. The important thing is to keep talking and learning.
That's right. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel. Henry, before we finish, let's talk about some common mistakes that people make when they try to talk to new people.
Great idea, Sarah. Mistakes are normal, but knowing them can help us avoid problems and feel more confident.
One big mistake is being too quiet or giving only short answers. For example, if someone asks, "How are you?" and you just say, "Fine," the conversation can end quickly.
Right. Instead, try to add a little more, like, "I'm fine, thank you. And you?" Or, "I'm good. I just started a new hobby."
Another mistake is being afraid to ask questions. Remember our tip about open-ended questions? Not asking questions can make the conversation one-sided.
Exactly. If you only talk about yourself, the other person might lose interest. So ask about them too.
Also, some people worry too much about making grammar mistakes and don't speak at all.
That's a big one. It's okay to make mistakes. Everyone does. The important thing is to practice and learn.
And lastly, not paying attention or looking away too much can seem rude or uninterested.
So, remember to look at the person, nod, and show you're listening. Small things like that make a big difference.
Great tips, Henry. Avoid these mistakes, and talking to anyone will be much easier.
Absolutely. Mistakes are part of learning, but practicing good habits will help you improve fast. Well, Sarah, that brings us to the end of today's episode on how to talk to anyone.
Yes, we hope our tips and role play helped you feel more confident about starting conversations in English.
Remember, the key is to smile, ask questions, listen carefully, and practice as much as you can.
Don't be afraid to make mistakes. They're part of learning and growing.
And the more you try, the easier and more fun talking to people will become.
So, take a deep breath, smile, and start a conversation today, even if it's just a simple, hello.
Thanks so much for listening to the English Learning Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, like, and share it with your friends.
And leave a comment to tell us how your conversations go. We'd love to hear from you.
Until next time, keep practicing, stay positive, and keep talking to anyone.
Bye, everyone. Talk to you soon.